How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Fame, and we are back with another FPL video, and today we're going to be discussing captaincy options for Game Week 3. Got a few spicy ones this week. There could be a bit of a split in the captaincy for Game Week 3, and that's when we're going to typically do this video, when it may be kind of a bit uncertain. It's not like Game Week 1, where everyone kind of went for Mo Salah. It's not like Game Week 2, where everyone was going for Haaland at home to Bournemouth. This week, it's a bit of a divide, and we're going to go through all the options that I personally think could be viable options for this game week. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Also drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with any and all FPL news, as well as give us a follow over on Twitch so you can join us live for our preview and deadline streams. There will be a pinned comment down on every video on the channel to let you know when the next live stream is, whether it be a preview stream or a deadline stream. But as usual, we will be doing a deadline stream this week, 1 hour before the FPL deadline. So, without further ado, let's see who the best captaincy option is for this game week. Now, as much as it pains me to say this as a Man United supporter, Liverpool are coming to town, and I think that this could be the best fixture for captaincy on paper. Last time, Salah absolutely destroyed Man United. They won 5-0 at Old Trafford, a total aggregate of 9-0 across both fixtures, home and away for Liverpool. And on paper, it says that Liverpool, if you could see the color circle under Liverpool's logo, is an FDR rating of 4, but for Man United, it's the worst possible fixture they could have on paper, an FDR rating, according to FPL's stats and stuff, of 5, which is the worst you could possibly have. And we've got a few candidates over on my side here. You got Trent Alexander-Arnold, you have Luis Diaz, and you have Mo Salah, who's probably going to be heavily captained this coming week. United stats above me, the season stats and the last 4 matches stats are the same because there's only been 2 matches in the season. But 17 shots in the box conceded, that's averaging around 8+ a game. 4 big chances conceded in the 2 matches played already, which means Salah's probably going to get one of those big chances at least, and he's probably going to score it because it's going to be a big chance. And 3.11 XG conceded, or 3.11 XG conceded, that's just not going to be good. That's averaging 1.5 XG conceded, and those were versus Brighton and Brentford, who typically don't score very many goals. Brighton scored 2 goals, technically they scored 3 because they got an own goal, and Brentford scored 4. And I think Liverpool, if they played the way they did versus Palace, or even slightly better than that in the opening 30 minutes, they're going to score about 4 in that time anyway. I think Salah's probably your best bet out of all the captaincy choices, but I wouldn't put it past a captaincy of a punt for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I think has been a bit unfortunate not to get an assist or some type of return. Luis Diaz, on the other hand, I think has been a bit peripheral up until basically when he just kind of ran the show himself and decided to shoot from a ridiculous range from outside the box, and then ended up scoring, because those don't really come off more times than not. They're actually quite a low percentage, which shows his XGI 0.47. It was less than that on that individual occasion, and I think that Salah is going to be your best bet. 1 goal, 1 assist, which he got in the opening game of the season versus Fulham, although in very fortunate circumstances. And I think Liverpool are going to have to go with a pretty set lineup. Firmino's probably going to come back and play through the middle. I think he was just out precautionary, and he has a full week recovery time. Diaz will play on the left, and Salah will play on the right, and I think they should be quite successful with that. Firmino's very good at pulling center backs out of position. United just do that naturally, so that's going to make things even worse. If they have Naby Keita, who was very successful at Old Trafford last season, he was very good at running the midfield. I'm not sure his injury status on this one, but it's looking like it could be a bit of a rout. Liverpool being frustrated in their first 2 games, and maybe they're going to take it out on longtime rivals Manchester United. So Salah's the best captaincy choice for me this week, but I think there is a fixture that a lot of FPL managers might be overlooking, myself included, as the second best fixture of the game week. So I think a lot of FPL managers, as I mentioned, including myself, are overlooking this Spurs fixture. I think versus Wolves, who are a team that haven't really played anyone too stiff at the moment, have potential openings as they're trying out a new system with only 4 at the back, and will potentially be relying more on Jose Salah this season to make miraculous saves. I think Spurs have been good in their opening 2 fixtures. Kulusevski in particular has looked fantastic. Son and Kane have been a bit off the boil, but Spurs have still managed to get the results that they would like. A very difficult place to go in Stamford Bridge, and they managed to get a draw in the last minute out of that one. The 4-1 win on the opening day of the season. And I think that Spurs, with this fixture being an FTR rating of 2, is definitely one to be overlooked. It's just who to potentially captain. Typically, it's between Son and Kane. It looks like Son is getting a bit more of the lion's share of the shots inside the box, but Kane's the one who scored the only goal between them this season. I think Kulusevski, who's already gone up to 8.1 million, could be an outside punt for the captaincy this week as well, if you're uncertain on Salah or any of the Liverpool assets, or maybe any of the other picks as well. I think Kulusevski could do well at home this season, as now he's had a half season to be bedded in with the team, and could flourish more and more. And it seems like he may not necessarily be the one to be hooked every time Richarlison comes on the pitch. So I think Kulusevski may be one to watch for, and could emerge as our best original 8 million midfielder. Kane versus Son, though, it's kind of a bit of the debate here. I think Son personally is more likely to potentially get involved. I think Wolves are going to be trying to counterattack Spurs as well, and I think if they mess up those counterattacks, Son is going to be the one that gets in behind. And I don't think, other than Ruben Neves, there's going to be anyone who can really lock down Kane. So I can see Son running in behind or splitting the defense and getting involved with a lot of the goals. So I think him, as well as Kane, would be the 2 best captaincy options from Spurs, and I would probably rank them, probably Son being the second best out of, obviously Salah being first, and then Kane would probably be third for me as well. So those who do have a potential slot there, or those that started with double Spurs and are kind of not, backing Salah or Liverpool in general, I think Son out of the 2 is probably the one I would go for personally. It's not like Wolves haven't conceded chances. 15 shots inside the box conceded, which is an average of 7 or so a game over the first 2 games. They are still conceding big chances. 1 to 2 big chances a game is still chances that Son and Kane can put away, and they're conceding just over a goal XG conceded, but they have only played Leeds and Fulham. Leeds' attack was very disjointed over the first part of Jesse Morris's tenure, and Fulham are a newly promoted team. This is going to be their first tough test, and I think rightfully so, it being rated an FTR rating of 4, Wolves could struggle in this one, and I think that Spurs could definitely come away with a big win here. And me personally, I'm just hoping Perisic gets involved in it, because I still have him, because I started with him from the beginning, and he could be even a super punty pick for the captaincy this week as well, if we get early team news, because that's also the advantage of this fixture. It is the early kickoff, but they always say don't captain the early kickoff. Maybe that's the case, but I think the fixture is good enough on paper to go for either Kane or Son. Now let's take a look at some different options for the captaincy. You might call them differential. I think there's still some pretty good captaincy options outside of the Spurs and Liverpool fixtures. Now, I think it's hard to even call these differential captains, because all of these players on this list here, all 3 of them, are absolutely outstanding FPL picks at the moment. We'll start with the 2 Man City boys, De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. I've seen some potential wildcards going around this week. We might do a video later on this week on that. I haven't decided that, or the lineup preview. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But City do play tough opposition. They play Newcastle away from home at St. James's Park. And Newcastle have been pretty lights out defensively. Just the 12 shots inside the box conceded, just 3 big chances. But the XG conceded number is the one that impresses me the most. Under 1 goal or 1 XG conceded per match. Just the 1.77 on the season total. However, I do think that Haaland and De Bruyne are going to be much better than the opposition that they face, but it's something about the St. James's crowd that just gets them up and going. Bruno Guimaraes has been very influential in that defensive midfield role. Could he be the man to kind of pin down De Bruyne, or maybe even Erling Haaland, from getting in the box and getting the chances that he has been getting, because he's had 7 shots inside the box over the first 2 matches played, and has been very influential to how City have been playing alongside Kevin De Bruyne, both of which have gone up in price. Haaland has gone up twice, and De Bruyne has gone up once as well from the original prices. Another potential pick coming off his 2-goal, 2-assist, 19-pointer. I believe he was the highest, he's almost certainly got to be the highest scoring player from last game week, was Gabriel Jesus, 2.20 XGI on the season. Obviously, most of that coming in the second fixture, where he did get those 2 goals and 2 assists. But they are going up against Bournemouth, which they did just concede 4 goals to Man City. But they've only conceded 2 big chances, which is quite interesting to note. And I think defensively they are a bit better than in recent times when they were under Eddie Howe. However, the XG conceded number probably suggests that they should be conceding a little bit more than what they have been. They still concede shots inside the box, which is very dangerous against a team like Arsenal, who get Jesus, who get Martinelli, who get Saka involved in and around the penalty area. And I think that Jesus is going to be quite the popular captaincy choice this week. If I had to rank them, I would say probably Salah is at the top, as we mentioned, then Son, then Kane. I think Kulusevski's much lower down just because he's more of a differential and maybe less involved and prone to less minutes. Then I would probably say Gabriel Jesus is probably third. I would then go for Erling Haaland fourth, and then Kevin De Bruyne fifth. I would say Son and Kane are probably borderline kind of on top of each other, so Kane probably just slightly lower, but I still think Kane is better than Jesus. So I would say the final ranking would be Salah, then Son, then Kane, then Jesus, who'd be actually fourth, Haaland in fifth, and then De Bruyne in sixth. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who are you captaining this week? I think it's open for discussion. There's probably some other players that I missed out as well. Reece James looked to be playing quite well. It's going to be an easier fixture for him this week as well. So maybe he plays at wing back and could get a clean sheet with some attacking returns. He could be a differential shout. We mentioned Trent Alexander-Arnold. Even long shouts for like Perisic, just an example. Martinelli could be a differential captain. There are quite a few this week, which is why I enjoy doing this captaincy video when there are more options to discuss. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who you captain this week? My armband is currently on Salah. I don't think it's going to change because I think Man United, unfortunately for my team, probably going to get mauled this week. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Scout members area, the one place that you need to be tuned into for the upcoming FPL season. It has a wide variety of resources and tools that will help improve your FPL game today. It has a bunch of different members-only articles written by some of the best FPL managers across the globe, heat maps for all the players and positions, as well as player comparison tools, which will help you see side by side who is going to be more effective for your FPL team, fully customizable stats tables powered by Opta stats, and much, much more. Use the link down in the description below so that you can get access to the Fantasy Football Scout members area today. It'll help improve your FPL game. This video has been sponsored by Manscape, the best in male below-the-waist grooming. Make sure to check out manscape.com so you can see the latest and greatest updates to their lawnmower, as well as their performance package, and much, much more for all their gadgets and gizmos to help keep your family jewels looking as shiny as ever. Make sure to use the code FLAME20 so that you can get 20% off your next Manscaped order, as well as free worldwide shipping. Go check out manscaped.com today. And that is going to do it for the captaincy picks for Game Week 3. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it's readily available. Also drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with any and all FPL news, and give us a follow over on Twitch so you can join us live for our preview and deadline streams. You can check the pinned comment down below to let you know when the exact next stream is going to be over on Twitch. And lastly, make sure to check out Fantasy Football Scout. The link is down in the description below. I believe they still have a discount on for 15% off the members area. All the stats that you saw in today's video were from the Fantasy Football Scout members area from one of my custom tables, which are all available for you to see in the members area, and much, much more. It'll help improve your FPL game. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.